All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about forging a seriously powerful, all-natural tool that you can make right in your own kitchen. Now, this isn't some quick fix. It's a slow-brewed, strategic asset called a Citrus Bio-Enzyme. And we're going to break it all down using the framework of the HBNF biological operating system.
To really wrap your head around this, you have to start with the core philosophy. And this quote, it says it all. You know, in most kitchens, your citrus peels are just trash. They're the end of the line. But in this system, they are the raw material for something incredible. We're not just composting here. We are talking about literally transforming waste into a valuable, powerful resource.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. What if those orange peels, those lemon rinds, were actually the key ingredients for a potent weapon for your garden? I'm talking about a single, homemade solution that you can engineer to both supercharge your soil and defend your plants. That is the incredible promise we are unlocking today. Okay, let's get into it. To use this tool the right way, we first have to understand exactly what it is we're building. So what is a bioenzyme inside this system? The biological operating system, we'll call it BOS for short, has a very specific name for this, a Botanical Fermented Bio-Enzyme. Now, the phrase you really want to log on to here is stabilized liquid matrix. That tells you this isn't just some fermented fruit juice. No, this is an engineered, stable solution that's just packed with organic acids and powerful enzymes, all created through a very precise, oxygen-free process. And this chart really shows you the night and day difference. Synthetic fertilizers, they're like just pouring raw, lifeless fuel on a fire. But a bioenzyme, it acts like a pair of molecular scissors. It is a biological catalyst. It doesn't just feed the plant. It literally unlocks the minerals that are already in your soil but are currently locked up, unavailable to your plants. And that's exactly why the system calls it the ultimate expression of biological legacy banking. Just think about that for a second. You are taking zero-cost kitchen scraps, garbage, and transforming them into a high-value, totally shelf-stable asset for your garden's future. You're literally turning a liability into a legacy. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. Let's dig into how this one single tool has an incredibly powerful dual function. It operates on two completely different levels of what the system calls the plant health pyramid. It works on the soil, and it works as a shield. And here they are, those two roles side by side. It's amazing, really. On the one hand, you drench the soil with it, and it acts as the soil's stomach. The enzymes become a metabolic primer, basically pre-digesting the soil to make it way easier for your microbes to move in and thrive. And then you can turn around and spray the exact same stuff on the leaves, and it becomes the fortress of victory, an immune shield where that acidity fights off fungus and tells pests to get lost. Same tool, two totally different strategic missions. Okay, so that covers the what and the why. So how do we actually make this stuff? We are now moving into the application, the master protocol. And within this system, there's a mantra you have to live by. We do not guess, we measure. Precision is everything. And the absolute core of that precision is this master ratio, 1:3:10. Burn this into your brain. This is the exact recipe that guarantees your mixture ferments perfectly instead of, just rotting into a disgusting mess. So let's break that down. The 1 is for 1 kilogram of your sugar. Brown sugar, molasses, either works. That's the fuel, what we call the osmotic driver. The 3 stands for 3 kilograms of your citrus peel waste. That's the catalyst. And the 10 is for 10 liters of dechlorinated water. That's the medium where all the magic is going to happen. The steps themselves are simple, but you have to be disciplined. First, dissolve that sugar in the water completely. You want a uniform solution. Then you submerge your chopped up citrus waste. Now, the most important part is getting a tight anaerobic seal on your container. And for that first month, and I'm serious about this, you have to burp the container every single day. It's producing a massive amount of CO2, and if you don't let that pressure out, your container could literally explode. Okay, now for the hard part, patience. This isn't some instant gratification garden tea. We are forging a complex biological tool, and that takes time. So let's look at the 3-month incubation period and the incredible biological symphony that's happening inside that sealed container. What's going on at the microbial level here is just this beautiful, orderly succession. Think of it like a relay race. In month 1, yeasts are the dominant players, and they are just feasting on that sugar, turning it into alcohol. Then, in month 2, they pass the baton to a different microbe, acidobacter, which takes over and turns all that alcohol into acetic acid, which is basically vinegar. But it's not until that third month that the enzymes fully mature and the whole solution finally stabilizes into the powerful, finished product we're after.
All right, so 90 days have passed. You've got what you think is a finished product. But before that liquid ever touches your soil or your plants, we have to move to the most critical phase of all: audit and deploy. You have to validate every single batch to ensure its quality.
The system requires this 3-part self-audit. This is how you know you've made a biological asset and not a biological problem. First, the nose test. Pop the lid. It should have a sharp, clean, sweet smell of citrus and vinegar. If it smells like vomit or rotten eggs, it's a failure. The wrong bacteria got in. You have to dump it. No exceptions. Second, the analytical audit. Get a simple pH meter. You're looking for a highly acidic reading, somewhere between 3.0 and 4.0. And finally, there's the target audit. After you apply it, you use a tool called a refractometer to check the plant's sap. A high Brix reading, over 12, tells you the plant is healthy and absorbing those unlocked nutrients. So once your batch passes the audit, you are cleared to deploy. And listen, here is the most crucial point. The dilution is 1 to 1,000. That is tiny. We're talking 10 milliliters for every 10 liters of water. A little bit goes a very, very long way. You can use it as a soil detox drench to clean and prep your soil, or you can use it as that level 4 foliar shield, sprayed directly on the leaves to protect them. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important rule of all. This stuff is a powerful concentrate. Never, ever use it raw. Its intense acidity will scorch the very life you are trying to help. As the protocol says, it must be deployed strategically. This whole process isn't just a recipe, you see. It's a lesson in precision. It's about learning how to transform everyday waste into a powerful weapon for your garden, but only when you respect the process and follow the code.